Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is everybody in the building? Press 7 if you're in the building. All right, we're going to be starting momentarily. Everybody, make sure you share this twice. I'm telling you, share this twice. This is going to be very interesting. Share it twice. Share it twice. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. On my way.
All the hits and more.
A well-educated black has a tremendous advantage over a well-educated white. A black may think that they don't really have the advantage. If I was starting off today, I would love to be a well-educated black.
What is it? Why? Why are you so mad?
Put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Check, with a vengeance. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Check 1 2. Let's own it. Put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Man, I love this. Y'all ready? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. I'm ready. 1 2. Yeah. Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go. Check it. We gonna get this right. One take. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god that's own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god that's own it. I used to rock with these temples and the moors the long way, but they all are super fraud and they not getting the way they want me to keep it quiet. Who I tell it to their face? I'm flipping over tables on my way to the 8. Taharka Bey said it, now it's time for me to prove it. Got the same address and I ain't planning on moving. The internet got these dope fiends acting around with Dirty Frankie and some mess that he know he can't handle. When I pull up and I pull out on 1 2 5. Don't be telling me you 60 when I let that thing rip. Open hand or close fist. Put your veneers on the curb, put your chin on the back of your neck, and that's my word. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, let's own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, let's own it. Let me ask you, who doing it like Taharka Bey? Nobody. Who the people's grand sheep? I am. Huh? Show me a more doing it like Taharka Bey. Ain't not. And I shut my mouth. Let's go. I can't wait to see Boy Bey and sit him on his back pockets for the simple fact he disrespect the prophet when he speak. He embarrassing. He ain't a Moorish American. The camera and caricature, so I will embarrass him. After that, I dip and take a trip to Carbondale. Nah, it ain't the hood, but oh well. I'm coming with all the shells. Find Yuck Yuck Bey, dozing off the Zola. Civilize the savage, so she can hate no more. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, we own it. I put the feds back in the hood and it look good now, don't it? Get your own Corona, you can be a god, we own it. You come up against me, you know you gon' lose. Salt and pepper, gold teeth, lost it all for some views. Grown man wearing rabbit ears, acting like a wild coon. Had a whole squad looking like a buffoon. I'm I'm the man, just admit it. You wanna do it how I did it, forget it. It's my time now, good riddance. Oh yeah, Anael Bey, you late with the court date. Don't make the Moorish world citizens wait. Come on. Put the fast back in the hood and it look good, now don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. I put the fast back in the hood and it look good, now don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. I put the fast back in the hood and it look good, now don't it? Get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. I put the fast back in the hood and it look good, now don't it? Now get your own Quran, you can be a god, we own it. People's Grand Sheik. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The People's Grand Sheik. I know you really not my enemy. You just wanna steal my energy. You acting like that slaveholder, and on the real, your heart seem a little colder. I know you mad, I'm the man now. Talking all crazy, looking crazy, homie, stand down. Cause on the real, I will line them up. It looks bad when you don't know your time is up. See, I'm the People's Grand Sheik. See, the people chose me to represent love, truth, peace, freedom. Let's not forget the justice. And a boss from that scimitar, let that text spit for real. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me, so right now you can't speak. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The People's Grand Sheik. Right now you can't speak. The People's Grand Sheik, the private representative. I'm only doing what they shoulda did. Yeah, I'm talking about these old sheiks out in these streets. Y'all looking so weak. So what you want, fight now? The true perk, it got you all tight now. Internet Moors, man, they the worst. Got the nerve to be talking about the family in the church. Stuck on the keyboard, stuck on the iPhone, claiming Moorish national. Man, this stuff is mind blown. As if being a Moorish national increases your capital, your thoughts are so irrational. Don't own a piece of land, working for Uber Eats, or the piece of man. Can't build, can't farm, can't get along, and your days are almost People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me, so right now you can't speak. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The People's Grand Sheik. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The People's Grand Sheik, so right now you can't speak. Mr. Potato Head, you had your chance. The way you played your hand, you never will advance. You lack the integrity, wanna be celebrity, but you and I know that you would never be. This about uplifting, not rolling spliffs, getting lifted. Misfit, you missed it. The alt doors are closed now. You out in the flood, you about to drown. I'm watching you go down and miss the scholarship. When I see it, I call it. You jumping from group to group just like a harlot, and that's just the facts. You can call me what you want, but can't adjust the facts. I never left the teachers, never adopted new philosophies. That's an act of European psychology. I'm with that old time religion, truth don't change. Hypocrites change, so I'ma remain. The People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me, so right now you can't speak. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me. I'm the People's Grand Sheik. The people chose me, so right now you can't speak.
So special.
Alright, here we go again. Yeah. Time to check some people.
What should I write? What can I say? How can I tell you how
Check,
much
check.
I'm? What should I write?
Let me talk to him.
What can I say?
Can I talk to him. Talk to him. Y'all been tripping lately, I know you starting to hate me, cause I'm exposing y'all for simply dozing off, sleeping at the wheel, acting like you real. You got my profit on the back burner with the oatmeal. I bring them to the front, and then you wanna front, talking all tough, but this ain't what you really want. I'm for peace, but my scimitar's sharp now. I represent the Moors that put that old cart down. The card jagging off, got you sounding mad soft. It's just an idle shrine, he'll fight you out your mind. To go against me, the Sultan of the West, stand down or I will put your weak knowledge to the test. You better ask somebody, back in my last life, I will run up on you 45 mask tight. I'm the revealer now, I take the mask off. I tell the truth and let the truth flash y'all. Let me talk to him. Can I talk to him? Let me talk to him. Oh. Can I talk to him? Talk to him. I know some real elders, you know some old folks. I know some serious Moors who ain't no joke. They don't be YouTubing, they don't be Facebooking, they don't be clout chasing. But yeah, they looking, they see you demonstrating, sounding like it's 85 lies. You was born from them old Moors you keep alive. I keep it fresh though, tell you how the flag go. The head don't know, then the whole body mad slow. Yeah, that's a cheap shot, and it might cost you. If you ain't in your lessons, then I probably lost you. You ain't a grand nothing, you define what? It still amazes me, all them people lined up and fell in line. Blind leading the blind, got us far behind. Confused at 29, but I'm wide awoke. Oh yeah, I solved the puzzle. Man, they didn't love the prophet, so how could they love you? Can I talk to him? Let me talk to him. I'ma talk to him. Let me talk to him. Can I talk to him? See, they tripping, right? See, they really tripping because I'm telling the things that they've been hearing whispers about. They get mad because I'm saying everything that they want to say, but scared to say. They scared to ask their grand sheik. They scared to ask their divine ministers. They scared to ask the head of their temples. Matter of fact, they scared to ask their supreme grand leader about everything that I talk about. But y'all been tripping lately. I know you starting to hate me, cause I'm exposing y'all for simply dozing off, sleeping at the wheel, acting like you real. You got my profit on the back burner with the oatmeal. I bring them to the front, 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 front. We need some bright light up in here. How y'all doing? Can everybody hear me? Can y'all hear me good? So family, let me tell you family, you know, we're going to be going on to this series of breaking down the history of the Moorish Temple of America. And I want to say, man, we got to try not to let this get so personal. You know what I mean? We got to try not let it get so personal. It should always be about information. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we still got the same enemy. At the end of the day, we still face the same dilemma. It should always be about information. Oh, I got to the mic up. I'm sorry. Thank you, Crypto. At the end of the day, it should always be about information. You know, a lot of people have turned to cult tactics when we begin to walk down this path of revealing what happened yesterday. Case in point, if you see me make a meme and just, you know, having fun, it's because somebody said something sideways to me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for instance, Sharif Anael Bey says that obviously, suggesting it's me. He say he don't. He say he doesn't. He don't go to the zoo to play with monkeys. He watch them. So once he says something like that, I can make a meme now. You know what I mean? But I don't want this turned into a horse and pony show. I think everybody should acknowledge that this is really about history. This is really about information. At the end of the day, I thought we all wanted the truth. One thing before I start, in this Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, right? In this Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, when we read about Jesus, we read about him confronting problems head on in real time. You see him studying the books like the Veda, the Vesta, and things of that nature, and the prophets, and the books of Gautama, but he looks back in order to address the problems that he see today. And that's in all schools of thought of which people call religion. They always look, a prophet always look back so they can adjust the problems today. They look back so they can acknowledge the problems today. That's what they do. And so for me to look back to acknowledge our problems that we have faced today and be condemned, it reminds me of the people that condemned Muhammad when he said, no, we are returning back to the state of Islam, which means peace. And everybody wanted to go crazy when he said, we're going to get rid of these idols. We're going to get rid of all of this crazy stuff that we've been following. Everybody wanted to go crazy. When Jesus came and did the same thing, and when any leader comes and said, listen, this is where we went wrong, we have to examine what we went wrong so we can move right. And so bring in Brother Taharka Bey. Many people want to play along to get along and have all this friendship and brotherhood and sisterhood. But a sisterhood and brotherhood based on a lie ain't going to last anyway. So we might as well just get to the facts. We might as well get to the facts while we can. So with that being said, there is a brother. If y'all got to be familiar with the conversation, I'm sure. But if you're not, I'm just going to remind you. So I've been covering this topic, the infiltration of the Moorish Science Temple of America, for approximately 3 years or better. And I'm of the thought that the group that we affectionately call the INC, or that we use the misnomer, the INC, MSTFA Inc., from its inception was the catalyst to try to overthrow Prophet Noble Ali. They were the precursor to try to overthrow Prophet Noble Ali, and at the death of Claude Green, it didn't stop there. It kept on going, and it kept on going through Kirkman Bey. That's what I've been talking about for the last 3 years when we're talking about infiltration. The reason why I talk about it, because I know for sure that the Moorish Science Temple of America will never see the light of day as the Prophet Noble Ali gave it to us if we don't address those things of yesterday and learn what went wrong and how the structure look and what we're supposed to be doing. So it brings me to today. For the last few years, nobody ever really jumped out there and said anything. You know what I mean? They never said anything. But so happened this year, the whole cult of the ink, they came out the woodwork. First, it's always been the guy Sharif Anael Bey. If you don't know who Sharif Anael Bey is, he's a guy that goes in and out of the temple. 1 minute he's in the temple, 1 minute he's not in the temple. But he's always been a strong supporter of the MSTFA Inc. And he's always jumped out the window making these weird claims, and I mean just off the chart claims about the position of the Moorish Science Temple of America Inc. Now, with that being said, about 3 years ago, let me open it. About 3 years ago, I said, well, me and you can debate. And for some reason, we never got to that debate, but it was all on his end why it didn't happen. But this year, the first one that came out the woodwork was Y. Cyrus L., Grand Sheik of Temple number 34 in Brooklyn, New York, saying that he wanted to take the debate. And I said, no problem. However, in the midst of him saying that he wanted to take the debate, he started talking about he want to box, and he used to be a boxer. He started posting up pictures with his shirt off with old boxing gloves. I was like, man, bro, you are like over a half 100. You know what I mean? Let's get to the information. We can box, but let's get to the information. Nevertheless, some kind of way he did a couple presentation, and it was garbage. I mean, for real, it was just garbage. It really was. It was trash. He had no receipts. He was just talking and rambling and going on and on and on, but it wasn't nothing of substance. Next, the little members of the INC would start making comments and this, that, and the third, but none would bring receipts to defend their position. They will always say, oh, you just being a clown. Oh, you just trying to make a show. But none would refute anything that I put down. Bring it up to right now. The last one that jumped out the window was Sharif Anael Bey. Sharif Anael Bey said that he would take the debate. And I said, no problem. First time around, I'm giving y'all a brief. First time around, he said he wanted to do it live in Detroit. I said, okay, let's do it live in Detroit. Second, the guy reached out to me. He said that he wanted to do it on Sinetta TV. No go. Everybody know I'm not doing nothing on Sinetta TV. Third time around, he said he wanted to do it on Doggy Diamonds. No go. I'm not doing it on Doggy Diamonds. My suggestion has been and always will be, let's do it live or on a Moorish platform. They have Moorish American Voice platform, Ali's Men platform, Sharif Bey platform, and he recently created Temple Number 11 platform. I'm saying, wouldn't it make sense if you think that you can defeat the knowledge and refute what I put down in a debate, wouldn't it make sense to do it on your platform and build your platform? Why would you want to build a hip hop platform, i.e. Doggy Diamonds? Why would you? I don't want my brand to build that with a debate of Moorish. If I go on Doggy Diamonds, I'm going on there because that's my brother. I'm going on there because he interested in sharing knowledge to his hip hop audience. But I'm not taking a Moorish debate outside of a Moorish circle. I'm not doing that. It's just not going to happen. So you ain't got to do it on Moorish World TV. You don't have to do it on any platform that I'm on. We can do it on your platform and help build your platform. Or the alternative, it will destroy your platform if you cannot prove the information wrong. I get thousands of views a day. I get thousands and thousands of views a day. Wouldn't it just make sense to use that to drive traffic to what you're doing? That just makes sense to me. Anyway, I haven't got a response about that yet, but I recommend that we do it on Moors in America. Anybody in the chat, press 7. I recommend that we do it on Moors in America. He's been on Moors in America. I think I've been on Moors in America. The brother from Ohio, he doesn't have a horse in a race. It's a Moorish platform. Why not? We can bring a fair judge in and just to moderate, make sure it's fair. It ain't got to be at the end of the day a win or lose determination. We can leave it to the comment section and let the people call it, period, point blank. But now after the fact, yes, I probably will upload it on this platform because, hey, it's my intellectual property just as well as it would be his. With that being said, family, Sharif has endorsed the guy, Sharif Anael Bey, and he's been saying things to back Sharif Anael Bey. One of the things that he said is that he said, thank you, if I'm not mistaken, I think he said something to the effect, thank you for all the attention that, he's getting because it helps his algorithms. And if that's the case, that all of this helps his algorithm and help his channel grow, then why not just do it on his platform? That just makes sense to me. But with that being said, family, we're going to get started now. what Sharif Anael Bey would do is he would actually make all of these posts, right? He would make all of these posts. You heard me? And all of these posts that he would make was to refute the information that I put out. This is what he would do. He wouldn't make a video to refute it. He just went on a Facebook page that I am blocked on and made all of these statements. Here they go right here. He made all of these statements. Now, some of these statements, he says that I said these things. Well, I can only think that he's trying to stop the ship from sinking. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I can think of, because a lot of this stuff I did not say. And this is what he did. He posted all of this stuff and misinterpreted some of what I said. And what he didn't misinterpret of some of what I said, he just made up stuff. So what we're going to do here tonight is we're going to go down the line and we're going to address it. All right? So let's start with number one. All right? And this is a lesson. This is an opportunity to actually teach Moorish science. It's a great opportunity. So listen, I wasn't going to touch this at first because the brother he's just delusional as ever. So here it is. He says, if Taharka Bey talking points consistently change every time he claims are rebutted, you must know that he does not have any answers or information. You follow what I'm saying? You hear me? So he says that I stated that there are no convention minutes prior to 1934. We proved that there are convention minutes dating back even to 1922. Now, I think that's a misprint. I think he said they have convention minutes dating back to 1932. But if that's the case, why didn't he just show the minutes? He made the statement and said that they disproved it. Hey, family, I need you to be interactive with me. Why make the statement and don't show the minutes? Now, but in reality of the matter, I didn't say this. What I said that if you was in existence, you would have to show minutes from 1929 or 30, 31, 32, and 33. That's what I said. I didn't say you didn't have minutes. I say you're going to have to show minutes of your existence. Anybody that watched the video, because they know that. So I'm like, why is he saying this stuff? He must be just trying to convince the members of Inc. that he has an argument. Anybody seen a video where I say, you would have to have minutes. You would have to have minutes to show of your existence. You follow me? Now, if that's the case, then let's discuss the minutes. I'm not saying that you don't have minutes. I'm saying if you have existed, then just show the minutes. That's it. Now, number two, and we're going to go down the line and then we're going to do some teaching on this. Number two, I said, Brother C. Kirkman Bey was the prophet's janitor. That's why he had the keys and access to the prophet's office. We proved that Arthur Scott was actually the journalist. Once again, I made a suggestion that he could have possibly been the janitor because he definitely wasn't given the keys to take over the Moorish Science Temple of America. Do you understand what I'm saying? I said he could have possibly been the janitor because one thing for sure, he's definitely wasn't given the keys as an indication that that was the order for him to take over the Moorish Science Temple of America. What corporation is transferred by saying, if you leave anytime, just give them the keys? What corporation does that? That doesn't make any sense. So now let's get into the slides and just teach a little bit, because this is a great teaching moment. With that being said, let me see if I can get this screen share on real quick. Bam. Yep, there it is. Let's get it on. Now I'm going to crop it real quick so we can get busy. All right. So, and I'm going to go on all his points. All right? And everybody get your pen and paper out. Now, I've already said that you would just have to show the minutes. You would just have to show the minutes. Number two, I was suggesting, but the keys don't make you the head of an organization. Number three, I said that there was a separate convention in 1929. Well, if I said that, then let me apologize fully, because that was definitely a slip of the tongue if that's true. But I don't believe that to be true. Because in reality, the number three, I showed Kirkman Bey being at the convention of 1929. And I mentioned that not only was he at the convention, that the title that was an honorary title was Supreme Grand Advisor, not Supreme Grand Advisor and Moderator. I said he added the moderator to try to give him power. I said the title that was given to him was Supreme Grand Advisor. Where did the moderator come from? So I never said he wasn't at the convention of 29. Clearly, he's on the program of 29. Press 7 if y'all with me so far. But he told the people on a page where I'm blocked that I said, you hear what I say? That I said it was two conventions in 1929. I did a whole presentation explaining how Kirkman Bey moved on the position of Supreme Grand Advisor. And I showed the 1929 program. So how can I say that it was two conventions and he wasn't there? I don't know how he come up with this stuff. I really don't. But like I said, what I really think is going on is that he's trying to save the Inc. membership when they start questioning. Because they must be questioning or something, because this stuff don't make sense for him to make this stuff up like this. It just don't make sense. It just really doesn't make sense. Now let's go to the next item. I'm telling you, family, this doesn't make any sense for somebody that claimed to be in a holy and divine movement to make up this stuff like this about the movement. It just don't make sense to me. Now, let's go to the next one. One of the things that when you look on a program, now here's a lesson for you. When you look on the program, when you look at the bottom, Anael explains what happened with the program. He says he was made in secret. In the public, he was unmade. This was Anael saying this message. Get a program of 1929's convention if you haven't one. Send for one. Read and think. And you will out that, in other words, in their language back then, you would know that the programs are printed before the convention convenes. Now trust in Allah through his prophet and live on. Follow anyone else and perish. Peace and love to all. Anael, Supreme Grand Sheik. Anael is saying that Kirkman Bey let me get to the next one, because the next one is going to really bring home my point. It's going to drive home my point. In number 9, he said, Taharka stated that the word honor and honorary are synonymous. Right? Also does not mean I. We need to have more conversation about comprehensive literacy. That's what he's saying in number 9. And so what I'm saying about honorary is this. Let's go back to this. That if Emiliel gave him, honored him with the credentials of Supreme Grand Advisor before convention, that means that there was no, as they like to say, this vote. Because the convention ain't even happened and it's printed on, this is why it's honorary. There is no chamber. There is no formal process. He tells you that, family, I need you, you got 7s all in the crowd, I need you to make sure that you understand what I'm saying. If Emiliel makes a flyer, this is a hypothetical. If Emiliel or the movement makes a flyer in June and says that Kirkman Bey is Supreme Grand Advisor, and they save the flyer to use it for September, where was this vote at? Press 5 if you comprehend what I'm saying. Where was the vote? Where was the vote? Remember they say they voted. He said 20, and we're going to get to that in a minute. He says 20 governors voted Kirkman Bey into office. That's what he said. But he didn't point out the 20 governors. He didn't point out the 20 governors. But he said it's 20 governors. So show the 20 governors. How about you just show the 20 governors? How about that? See, this is hypocrisy at its best. This is hypocrisy at its best. And people that's defending it is out of their mind. If the program was printed before the opening of the convention, then it was assumed until solidified. Therefore, how is it official according to law? Appoint, and then the body must confirm. No confirmation, no position. I think that's how organizations work. I think that's how corporations work. I think that's how the Senate work. You are appointed and then confirmed. But where is this vote? Now let me go back to my other point. And I'm sharing everything I'm talking about. So if they respond, bring some receipts. Because they have yet to bring any receipts. So Emiliel says, right here, he says, we honored Brother Kirkman Bey with papers of the Islam, brother. We honored Brother Kirkman Bey. Let me spread it out for you. We honored Brother Kirkman Bey. I want you to see it. This is Emilio. We honored Brother Kirkman Bey with the proper papers of the prophet credentials, to show we appreciated his services he performed over the prophet's body while in state. But they were not given him to take charge of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now and again, Emilio says that he gave him credentials not because he went through a chamber, the ADAPT chamber, not because he qualified in any other specific qualifications that credentials come from. He said we honored him because what he performed at the prophet's final resting place, if you will. That is honorary, because the typical way to get credentials in the Moorish Science Temple of America is how? You are nominated, appointed, and you go through the chamber process. Press 7 if you're with me. You go through the chamber process. So when I'm saying honorary, he says it. We honored, and now you might don't understand honorary and honored as it relates to what it actually demonstrates. But Emilio tells you what it's all about. He tells you that he did not give it for him to take over the movement, and that the program was made before the convention. The program was made before the convention. Therefore, there is no way humanly possible that one can sit up there and say that some type of vote took place. When did it happen? The vote that took place, it didn't take place at convention. It took place in another area. It took place in another place. Now, let me make sure I got everything. He says, okay, here we go. He says, number 5, he says, Brother Taharka Bey stated abbreviations of Inc. was a separate corporation from the Prophet Temple. That's not what I said. That is not what I said at all. You follow me? That's not what I said at all. And we're going to talk about what I said. You know what I mean? That's not what I said at all. Now, let me trim this down a little bit so everybody can see it. What I said is this. Let me tell you what I said. Now, first of all, why would I say something like that when I showed the convention programs from Emilio and they got incorporated on it? And we know that the Prophet Noble Ali incorporated the movement because he said he incorporated the movement. What I said was, Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated is not the Prophet's movement. I say it's not the Prophet movement. What I'm saying is that Emilio was in possession of the Prophet's movement. And you all went and did something else. Ultimately, the certificate of corporation landed in your hands, and then you reincorporated the organization and connected to 1926. But that is another conversation. I'll save that for the debate if it happens. Because the question now would be, how did they get the corporation papers if Emilio was recognized as the Grand Sheikh and chairman and the holder of this organization? Well, if y'all remember the story where Ivor Johnson Bey ran down Kirkman Bey and kidnapped him for some papers, what papers do you think he was trying to get from Kirkman Bey? What papers do you think he was trying to get? We'll save that for the debate. Now, back to my point. The point is that when I say y'all are a different organization, it means that while Emilio was running the Moorish Science Temple of America, you all was doing something else. And the Moorish Science Temple of America that Emilio was spearheading came from the Prophet directly. What y'all was doing did not start until 1934 and did not directly come from the Prophet. That's what I'm saying. Just because some kind of way you end up with the corporate document, and we're going to talk about that another time, doesn't mean that you are that organization. Because when you went to court to be that organization, you was denied. And we're going to talk about the case where you say that you won. But no, you are not the organization called the Moorish Temple of America that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali left with Emanuel. He left the movement with Emanuel and those Moors. You follow me? So with that being said, number 10 you said, and I'll just run through these real quick. Number 10, you stated that, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull this over here. Let's talk about this real quick. Because honorary, let me break this down real quick. Honorary, real quick. Honorary. Honorary degrees are not related to traditional degrees. And this is just talking about school. Traditionally, we know in the Moorish Science Temple of America, in order to become an official or have credentials in the Moorish Science Temple of America, there's a traditional way to do it. Anything outside of that, it's something other than what you think it is. The same way about honorary degrees. Now, somebody say records of proof from the Secretary of State. But the question is, how did you get at the Secretary of State level? Because you wasn't there at 1929. Nor were you there at 1930. Nor were you there at 31, 32, 33. How did you finagle your way at the Secretary of State level? That is an argument in itself. If it is something nefarious, then the holy and divine that you call the movement that you're a part of, it doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist. This is why I called this series in the beginning, the hijacking of the nation. I know exactly where I'm going with it. I know exactly where I'm going with it. Now, with that being said, honorary degrees are not related to traditional degrees, and they are not earned by applying to school. And that's the same thing that happened with Kirkman Bey. He was honored. He didn't get them traditionally by going through no chamber. If he did, then I implore you, since y'all have an unbreakable lineage, I implore you to produce his divine minister papers. I implore you to produce the papers that they was trying to get from him. I implore you to produce the papers that that Johnson Bey was trying to get from him. Y'all got an unbreakable lineage. Produce the papers. Why won't you produce them? Why won't you produce them? Shut everything down and produce the credentials, because they're not credentials. Johnson Bey wanted to spearhead the movement also. And they thought that that paper would give them the power. Kirkman Bey could not employ that paper until the death of Emanuel. Now you put the puzzle together. He could not use the certificate of incorporation until the death of Emanuel. Because up until Emanuel got sick, Emanuel was determined the head of the organization every time Kirkman Bey took him to court. And why would Kirkman Bey take him to court in the first place? Because he thought that that piece of paper would wield power and strip Emanuel of power. But it didn't happen like that. The only way that that piece of paper had any power for Kirkman Bey was when Emanuel passed away. Now you put a seven in the chat. If you with me, put an eyeball in the chat. Just one. See with your wisdom. See with your wisdom. But now the question still begs an answer. How did you get that certificate of corporation? There's only one way you can get it. There's only one way you can get it. Anybody know how to solve the equation? There's only one way you can get it. Claude Green was the business manager. There's only one way you can get the corporate document. You would have to get it from the business manager, Claude Green, who was able to sway Temple Number 9. And who did Kirkman Bey become? Where did he move his headquarters at? Temple Number 9. Come on, man. Come on. We smarter than what people try to sell us on, aren't we? Aren't we smarter than that? Why did he move his headquarters to Temple Number 9? Because 3603 home office, he could not move there. Emilio had been living there, the prophet's house. Why wasn't he at 3603 home office? Huh? Because Emilio was living there. All right? Now, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. I'm giving y'all some real history right now. You know what I mean? And they got to bring receipts. Don't let them talk. Let them bring receipts. So he says that number 10, he states, Taharka Bey stated that religious freedom allows someone to use the name of an already existing corporation. We prove the First Amendment is not in variance with copyright laws. This is common sense. Now, what I said was, see how I got it. What I said was, I said, what make you think that you are going to be the only Moorish Science Temple of America? Religious freedom gives us the ability to practice our religion. Now, how many Mount Olive churches are there in your city? How many African Methodist churches are incorporated in a city? How many? You get my point? So that would have to be sorted out in court. How many people are calling themselves Moorish Science Temple of America today? Y'all ain't filed nothing yet? Y'all ain't filed nothing yet? What y'all waiting for? See, he made a statement that they are McDonald's and everybody else is McDowell's. Well, why you ain't shut McDowell's down? Press 5 if you understand what I'm saying. If everybody else is McDowell's, they're infringing on your copyright. What's the beef? What's the beef? What we talking about? Make me first. There you go. File an injunction. Make me first. And let's walk the dogs. Make me first. Let's see. Now, that's a bold statement, family. That's a bold statement. That's a very bold statement. Why? Why is all of these Moorish Science Temple of America in existence? Some of them even call Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated. You ain't doing nothing? That would be just like a Mount Olive church trying to shut down every Mount Olive church. Forget about it. So we're going to leave that right there, and I'll await your receipts with now that receipt you got to demonstrate. You just can't talk. Now, the next one says, Taharka Bey stated, Brother Emilio won every case versus Moorish Science Temple of America, Brother C. Kirkman Bey. Yes, I stated that. Now let me get to the next one. I stated that. But what he says is, Let me see. Oh, there it is. He said, we proved not only did Brother Emiliel lose in 1933, but Judge Howard ruled Brother Emiliel can no longer hold meetings in the name of the MST-of-A. This is a major embellishment. What happened was Emiliel was sick and went to Mississippi, where he will ultimately pass away. While he was sick, they took the opportunity to go to court and claim they was the Moorish Science Temple of America, and by default, the judge said, okay, there's no one to challenge it, so it is. That don't make you a holy and divine movement when a man is on his deathbed and you have been going to court since 1929, 1930, I mean to say, 31, 32. And now the man is on his deathbed and you seize the opportunity to pull a fast one. Y'all see how corrupt this is? This is the corruption that people want to say is holy and divine. It's corruption. And the rumor is that Emiliel was poisoned. This is corruption. This is not holy and divine. This is corruption. And he act like Emiliel was right there in the courtroom battling. No, he was on his deathbed. It's insane. It's insane that people will use these analogies to try to support something that they standing on. It's insane to me. But this is called desperation. But now, let's go to the next one. At the end of the day, on the honorary demonstration, right? It says this, right? So on the honorary demonstration, they say that on the honorary demonstration, we know that he got the credentials before convention, or they was listed on the program before convention. Now, family, let's just be logical with this, right? Let's just be logical. If Emiliel gave him credentials, don't Emiliel got the power to revoke them? Listen, if you work at Walmart, and they make you a manager at Walmart, why can't they say, hold up, I did that in error. You misunderstood and you running buck wild. We gonna rescind this thing. And as I said, Sharif Anael Bey said, well, okay, he gave him the credentials and then he took them away. But who was running the organization? And I try to break it down to people that although the credentials, they was just honorary credentials. But let's just say they just legitimately real. The following year, although he removed them, the following year he put it on the record at convention where all business is handled. So if he said, okay, I rescind my decision for you to be Supreme Grand Advisor. If convention is out of session, then next year he rubber stamps that with the support of the grand body. And it says, Bro C. Kirkman Bey, this is to notify you that the above-named organization, Moorish Temple of America, in convention September the 15th to 20, rescinded by voting out the mistake made at the second annual convention. If he gave you the credentials, come on, I think this is just common sense at this point. He says, we hope further that you will comply with this notice and govern yourself accordingly, as there is but one supreme grand advisor in the Moorish Temple of America, that being Noble Drew Ali. Assuming authority of himself, hold up, and anyone else attempting from now on is assuming authority of himself and is liable to the penalties of the law. So at the end of the day, if the credentials was given by by Anael, why couldn't they be rescinded? And he rescinded them immediately too. He rescinded them immediately. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he waited no year. No, they was solidified. The rescinding was solidified in 1930. My bad. Thank you, Talik L. They were solidified in 1930. Talik L said he rescinded it in 1929 and confirmed in 1930. That's it. There's no argument there. Why are they trying to argue something that cannot be argued? Secondly, family, what organization have you ever heard of to say that? But let's just play with this for a second. What organization or business you ever heard of says that a statement like this gives you a corporation? Listen to this. This is how insane this is. Let me shrink this a little bit. Let me shrink this real quick. He says, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is quoted as saying this: everyone wants to sit we're gonna hurt yourself running around here. Everyone wants to sit here because there is where the money is. But I know who I want to sit there. And I know who I want to handle my money. Then the statement says, if you leave for any length of time, give the keys to Bro C. Kirkman Bey till you return. Turn that down a little bit, Ali. These people believe that this is interpreted that Kirkman Bey is the one that's supposed to be in charge of the corporation. How did they come up with that is beyond me. They've been saying this for years. But let's read the whole letter, if we will. Let's read the whole letter. Let me bring it down here real quick. Let's read the whole letter. Because if they're going to use that part to be trustworthy, let's just trust the whole letter. Let's just trust the whole letter real quick, all right? Here we go. Let's just trust the whole letter. Then let's read the whole thing. If we're going to trust it, let's trust the whole thing, all right? Now, let me spread it out just a little bit more. This would say, and we just going to go down to the second paragraph. You know what I mean? Returning from a trip around to other temples one morning in front of the home office 3603 Indiana Avenue. Let me blow it up so everybody can see it that's on their cell phones. That's what I need to do. I want everybody to see it on their cell phones. All right. And this is how you refute something. This is how you rebut something. You know what I mean? You don't just write stuff and start talking. Show your receipts. This is how you truly refute something. So it says, returning from a trip around to the other temples one morning in front of home office at 3603 Indiana Avenue, the prophet said to me, I, E. Miliel, bro, Millie, you will study up now on all of my laws to prove yourself, because you would have to do what I am doing. That sounds like preparation to me. He says, you will have to go around to all the temples and report back to me. So read up on my Quran, questionary, and constitution. Try to be perfect in all subjects. He's telling Emiliel to study up on what he want. He's not telling Kirkman Bey that. So you may act intelligent along all lines of procedure. Procedure is important. And this is where those who wasn't taught by the prophet like Emiliel, they fall drastically away from the procedure. And Emiliel made a few errors too. However, for the most part, he stayed, I ain't gonna say for the most part, he stayed faithful to his understanding and loyal to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. However, 20 minutes later in his office on the same occasion, he, Drew Ali the Prophet, said to me, I find all of them want to sit in my seat. But at my absence, that is your station. Family, press 7. What does that mean? Are we talking about a moment in time that is your station? He's already appointed the Supreme Grand Sheikh. He's already appointed. Now, I think this was before he was appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh, but he ultimately is appointed Supreme Grand Sheikh. He ultimately is appointed Grand Sheikh and Chairman, Temple Number 1. If he says, now, this is the same letter where they said, give Kirkman Bey the keys. So this same letter saying give the Kirkman Bey the keys, it cannot compare where the Prophet Noble Drew Ali say, study up on my law, and in my absence, this is your station. So if you use the concept that he said give Kirkman Bey the keys, in the same letter, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you used that for years. You used it for years to say that was how the power, that's an indication that Kirkman Bey was to be in power. But you never read the rest of the letter. The rest of the letter reads, that is your station. And when you leave, lock the desk and put the key in your pocket. Now, I would love to get the original part of this letter, because this letter to me appears to be doctored. And I'm going to tell you why it appears to be doctored. When you look at spaces like, and I'm going to shrink this down so you can follow me. This is not typical of a letter. Look at this blank right here. What was right there? It looked like new paragraphs, but what was right here? What was right here? Looked like it was white out right here. It looked like, if you pull up closely, family, I'm going to show you something about this document right here. Wherever it said, give the keys to Bro Kirkman Bey, I want you to look real. In fact, let me minimize this so you can actually see. And I want you to press 7 if you see it. I want you to press 7 if you see it. I'm going to have to spread this back out later. But I want you to press 7 if you can actually see it. Where it says, give Kirkman Bey the keys, look at the give. Can y'all see it? Tell me if you can see the marks around the give. Tell me if you can see it. Press 7 if you can see it. Can y'all see it? I'm going to hold it there for a minute. Can y'all see it? Look at the give. What word was actually there? Was it give Kirkman Bey the keys? Give the keys to Bro Kirkman Bey? What was there? I see a lot of sevens. Press 5 if you're with me. What was there? Because it seemed like that was altered. All of these blank spaces. All of these blanks. What was actually there? It looked like the give and the was altered. Could it have said, and let me just take a jump. Could it says, don't give the keys? But it looked like who knows what it was saying? We will never know. We will never know. But look at it. That's suspect. Super, super suspect. For something that you're using to say that the prophet said, give Kirkman Bey the keys. That's what you said. Give Kirkman Bey the keys. But then when you look at the give and the, it looks super suspect. This is Moorish science forensic at its best. Brother Taharka Bey is giving you Moorish science forensics at its best. Did what I say? It looked very suspect. And then, not to mention all of these little weird blank spots. What was there? Who leaked this? See, they was doing a lot of trickery back then. They would alter stuff and then leak it. Look at all these blank spots. Look. Look. Follow me. Look down there. Look at this blank. Let me shrink myself as a pointer. Look at this. Look at these blank spots. Special instruction on ways of life. And then it's a blank spot. Then it say, and it was done in a way one could never think that the prophet was going to leave the earth then. This is odd. This is very strange. But hey, I'm just saying, if you're going to use the document about the keys, you must use the part where he says, you, Emanuel, that is your station. All right? So, that's answering that right quick. And now, family, any rebuttal should not be a conversation. Hold up, family. Let me ask y'all a question. Any rebuttal to this, there shouldn't be texting, that there should be receipts, because I spent hours putting receipt together. Why do they get to be just be able to post something and then people are like, ooh, wow, ooh, look what he said. Oh, whoa. No. Sharif went on New York podcast 3 times. And one time out of all them hours, he held up one piece of paper. Plus 5 if you've seen it. He held up one piece of paper, and that was the letter of Belial positioning. He held out one piece of paper. You see this here? Even when he went on there and talked about the Canaanite temple, he didn't even have the decency to produce the letter, because he knows that that letter or interview is shaky at best when you're talking about true scholarship and validating something historical. He knew. He knew it was shaky. He knew that thing would not hold a litmus test with intelligent people. So he could run that and say, look, okay, I got something for you. I'm going to give it to New York podcast. I have an interview from 1981. Like, okay, the interview. Then I come back and debunk the interview, and they still don't bring a receipt. How do they get to keep on talking without refuting the receipts? It's beyond me. It's beyond me. You get to keep talking, but you never refute the receipts. You start talking about Pearl Drew Ali. You start talking about somebody got a big head. You start talking about clown. You start making clown emojis. You doing all of that, but you have not produced one receipt to refute anything. Everything that I'm showing, I'm explaining, and I'm able to explain it in such a way that anybody that even not in the movement can understand. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. All right. I was talking all that time. Oh, my bad. I was talking all that time. So the brother said, he said, Brother Taharka Bey stated they have convention minutes from 1930 to 1935. We proved Brother Emilio was incarcerated in 1933 during the time of his convention. Was supposed to have been in session. I gotta be honest, I never seen them prove that Emilio was incarcerated. In fact, all of the research in the history records is that Emilio got sick in 33. So I don't know. And another thing, family, you know and I know, I said that we have, of all things, we have convention, we have some minutes, but we have convention programs that shows that convention was happening. That's what I said. And I didn't say from 1930 to 35. I said it stopped at 33 and picked back up at 35 by Sister Delia Miliel. Why don't he just quote my voice? Why don't he just take my voice and use it? Why don't he just go to my video so I can clarify what I mean? Like, don't just write this stuff on the internet. Go to my video where you, look, if he got this off of my video, right? I'm pretty sure that I might have said, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I may have said something closely resembling of what you're saying, or even maybe real close. But I can tell you that you're taking it out of context. Because I already showed, even the video with Bailey Ill, I showed that matter of fact, let me just do it real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. The video where I laid out with Bailey Ill, I played the video, and let me see if I can find it. And it's in the video. It's in the video where Bailey Ill, and I show, matter of fact, let me just show the receipts. Here we go. Let me just show the receipts. I'm sorry, I didn't plan to do this part, but let me just show the receipts. I showed the second annual convention, right? 1929. I showed the third annual convention. This is what I showed. 1930. I showed the fourth annual convention, 1931. I showed the fifth annual convention, 1932. Now, with that being said, I don't know what you're talking about, I said something about 33. I don't know what you're talking about. Because the next one that I showed was let me see. Is this the, I didn't show this on the paper, but let me see what it is. September 15th. Oh yeah, this is the 36. And I showed the 36. But what I said was, you have to show minutes or something that you were moving as the Moorish Science Temple of America at 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. That's what I said. Why is this guy block me on Facebook, post all of this stuff, twist my words, and then people sitting up there, oh yeah, you got to respond to this. No, I don't. I'm only doing this for one reason and one reason only tonight. Because I want to take you down this rabbit hole and share with you the history of the Moorish Science Temple of America, as well as the next presentation that I'm going to be doing. And the next presentation that I'm going to be doing is the Brother Hopkins Bey wrote a book, and there is a lot of stuff in the book that supports what I've been teaching, and then there is some misinformation in the book. You know what I mean? There's some misinformation in the book. Oh, here we go. I can do this right now. Let me.
There are no Kirkland Bay convention minutes from 19...
Hold up 1 second. Let me do this. I can do this right now. All right. Let me show you what I was talking about. Check what I was talking about. Let me get the download real quick. This is the video that I put out.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
There are no Kirkland Bay convention minutes from 1930, 31, 32, or 33. It did, that organization did not exist. The Moorish Science Temple of America, Inc. Okay? But
Now listen to
here's
Bailey.
something amazing that I found one time when it comes to the words Moorish Science Temple of America, Inc. I think it was in 1931 and 1932, if you look at the convention program for that year, it says Moorish Temple of America, Inc.
You see what I'm saying? So nobody denying that the name is Inc. What we're saying is that you are using it and we use it to relate to you. So what exactly is he watching? I don't get it. And right here, where he talk about
Moorish Temple of America, Inc. did not first demonstrate its head in 1934. It was here in something like 1931 and 32, and Seacircle Bay was not a part of it.
So we put all the information out. Look, go all the way back to all the flyers. We put all the information out. Right there. He said nothing about no 33, 32. What is he talking about? We put all the information out. What you talking about? See, this is real history. This is that history that you can't hide. I mean, this is that history that you can't deny. See, you have to show something of you operating. If you can't show that you operating, then how can you claim that you are the Moorish Science Temple of America extended from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali? So that means that something else took place. And it's up to those people that are wise enough to acknowledge that something took place to jump on board to fix it. And that's what we do as the Moorish Science Temple of America, affectionately known as the Noble Temples. We look at the blueprint of Prophet Noble Drew Ali and we implement it. We don't ask for permission. We're saying that if Prophet Noble Drew Ali corporate structure is like this is what it's going to be. This is how it is. This is how it is. This is how it's going to be. This is how it is. If we say that Prophet Noble Drew Ali's structure of how the temple operate from research in which we could see, this is how we going to operate it. If we see that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali regalia is not consistent with logic, reason, and research, it's time to implement it. And then when new research come, it's up to us to make the adjustment. That's the philosophy of the Moorish Science Temple of America, styled as the Noble Temples. That we look at the Prophet blueprint and we implement it because the Prophet blueprint is the only successful model. It's the only successful model. There is no other successful models. None. None. There's been so much confusion that even us with all of this research got people bringing their baggage with them from misinformation, disinformation from other organizations that has been perpetrating a fraud for so long. So our focus is those that never heard of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Those that are willing to change their old ideals that was going nowhere and to be retaught from the Prophet's lessons. And the unborn. That's the philosophy. The young, the unborn, and the willing. Now, this one right here, he says, not only did we prove that C. Kirkman Bey was duly elected, but it was Emiliel who put the nomination on the floor. And with a unanimous vote by all 21 governors during the second annual convention. Where was this? Who was these 21 governors? This brother seemed to just say anything. When did he put it on the floor? We already seen that Emiliel honored him before convention. When did they put it on the floor? Who are these 21 governors? They may exist. I don't know. I never seen them before. But I can tell you from the information that we have, and the governors that we know of, we don't even got 21 governors. Maybe we missing something. I don't know. Maybe we missing something. Because the information that we have at our disposal, are y'all still with me? Press 7 if y'all still with me. The information that we have at our disposal, fam, we don't have 21 governors. Let's count them out. Chicago, Grand Sheik Bromeliel. Grand Sheik White Bay, number 2. Grand Sheik Prior. Governor, that's number 1, Lomax Bay. Governor, Crumley Bay. Governor, Mosley Bay. Governor, Charles Bay. Temple number 10, Pollard Bay. Then we got Governor, Temple number 11, Thompson Hill. Governor, Gloviel L. Where are the 21 at? Where is the 21 governors? I don't even think Moorish Americans can actually name 21 members of the Moorish Science Temple of America because they have clouded the movement so bad. I would be surprised if Moors can name actually 21 members during the time of the Prophet off the top of their head, real fast. Okay, 1, 2, 3, name 21. That's how they conceal this movement. Press 5 if you understand what I'm saying. Name 21 members of the Moorish Science Temple of America real fast. Who can do it? Can he produce the names? Why don't he produce the names? Why don't he produce the name? Name 21 members off the top of your head, not governors, real fast, during the time of the Prophet. Y'all see how crazy this is? If you've been a Moorish American for 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, I guarantee you, the average person cannot just roll 21 members, officials, off of their head. Because that's how deep the cover-up was. Over 60,000 reported to be members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and you can't roll off 21 members or officials like that. That's how deep the cover-up has been. That's how deep the cover-up is. As big as the Moorish Science Temple of America was, you can count on one hand the pictures of the Prophet and the pictures of the movement. It's more than one hand. But that's how deep the cover-up it was. As big as this movement was, you can literally use both hands and have some fingers left as it relates to the pictures to this movement. That's how big the cover-up was. So don't sit up there and tell me that they were duly elected by 21 governors when they said themselves that they elected in secret. In their own minutes, in your own minutes, they said that. In your own minutes. So what you talking about? Now, oh man, I'm rolling. I'm almost done now. It says that Brother Taharka stated that the Supreme Grand Visor was intended to be an advisor. We proved that not only is that not how a job description for officers work, but using Anael's letter, Brother Anael stated that the office was intended to be the head of the Moorish Science Temple of America. What letter is he talking about? Because the letter that I read from Anael, he said we honored Kirkman Bey with papers of the Prophet's credentials to show him we appreciated his services. He performed over the Prophet's body while in state, but they were not given to him to take charge of the Moorish Science Temple of America. What Anael letter is he talking about? I'm telling you, they trying to save membership. That's all they can be doing. So let me run to this real quick. Hey family, do y'all think that I covered my point pretty good? You know what I'm saying? It said, the next thing it said, Taharka Bey poses an issue with Freemasons under the guise that Brother C. Kirkman Bey was a Mason and somehow is indicative of infiltration. You just talking now. You just talking now. He's saying that I'm saying that Freemasons is indicative of infiltration. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that those that was a part of Freemasonry, at the time of the prophet was the ones that conspired to overthrow the prophet. That's what I'm saying. I don't think nothing is wrong with Freemasonry. I think what happens is something is wrong with Freemasonry when you think that you got to add that to the prophet's teachings, where you got to be over here and not over here. Where the prophet Noble Drew Ali says he gave us everything we need to save a nation and take it and save yourself. It's like, why would I dedicate my time over here? Why would I dedicate myself by giving an oath over here? Why would I do that? When Prophet Noble Drew Ali informs us that he brought us everything. And I'm of the thought that he really did. That you can understand Freemasonry through the lens of what Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave us. And what I'm saying is that Prophet Noble Drew Ali gives us the science that is used against us. And if we pay close attention, we can see when the science is being used. You follow me? It says, Taharka Bey posed the issue with Freemasons under the guise that Brother C. Kirkman Bey was a Mason, and somehow this is, I think he's saying, indicative of infiltration. Not only did we provide evidence that Brother Anael was using Masonic body language, but doesn't call himself styled as noble temples. You know what? Never mind. Let me explain what I'm saying. I'm not of the thought that Anael wasn't a Mason. I don't know. The word is that he was a Mason. However, I'm of the thought that when Prophet Noble Drew Ali asked Anael in that same letter, are you with them or are you with me? Anael chose the prophet, and that's who we must choose. Who is the them Prophet Noble Drew Ali was talking about in that same letter? Who is the them? 1 second. 1 second. Who is the them? Let me see if I can pull the letter back up. Here it is. Here it is. When the same letter with the keys. The same letter. Prophet Noble Drew Ali asked the question. He says, I want you to know the truth. I want to know the truth from you this day, because I have done too much for you to turn your back on me. I say I've done too much for you. Hold up, I got it messed up. Oh, my bad. He asked, he spoke to his mighty Godheads and then asked me if I were with him or if I was with them. Let me break it down to you and share it to you. Who is them? I told you the infiltration started way before. Right here. If I was with him or if I was with them. He further said, I want to know the truth from you today, because I have done too much to. You know what that would imply? That maybe Anael was given signs that he could have been with them. The only reason one would say something like that, even the prophet would say something like that, is because there is a sense that you might be with them. And the prophet said, I want the truth from you today. But who is them? I told you. Claude Green and Kirkman Bey was in cahoots to overthrow the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You don't have to believe me. The research says that. Lomax Bey, Kirkman Bey, Claude Green was on the same team. Foreman Bey, Murray Foreman Bey. They was on the same team. That is the them. It's not a spook. That is the them. Man, we better wake up, man. That is the them. Whether you like it or not, whether you are part of these groups or not, that is the them. They use this letter to verify about a key being given to Kirkman Bey when Anael leave. But in this same letter, he asked Anael, are you with them or are you with me? Family, you better figure out who the them is, or you would never see this movement to the glory where the prophet left it to us. Now, let me get this real quick. I did that. Now, I did that. He talking about wearing a cape. See, all this stuff is. Oh, let me get this real quick. And I'm gonna be done with it after this one. I'm gonna get one. He said Taharka Bey stated that a cape was Masonic regalia introduced by C. Kirkman Bey, and I stand on it. I still stand on that. Taharka Bey logic, the ink created those holidays. The prophet didn't bring that. I never said that. I don't even know what you're talking about. What holidays? I don't even know what holidays you're talking about. The prophet gave us the ability to create customs and tradition. See, they just make up stuff. Then he come back, and Taharka celebrating Sister Pearl Drew Ali. Taharka Bey stated she disappeared, but Anael Bey stated she was with the ink since 29. Now here is where the rubber meets the road. He says Taharka Bey recanted his statement and said she was kidnapped. Family, here's where the rubber meet the road. Because he's making up stuff one after another. My bad. Y'all can't see it. My bad. Y'all can see it now. My bad. He's making up one thing after another. He said I recanted my statement. I did not recant my statement. Let me show you what I said. I said in one presentation, I said she went missing. In another presentation, I said it seems that she could have been kidnapped because they was doing a lot of kidnapping at that time. This was at the bootlegging time. That's what I said. This was at a lot of crime time in the South Side. Now, why did I say that? Because they was trying to get rid of her to put somebody in her place. You hear what I said? So in the newspaper, which I don't trust the newspaper in full, but just to put us on a path, it say Pearl, it has been hinted, was taken away from the prophet. Although at one time, he is said to have lived in a 2-flat building with Murray, Lou in one flat and Pearl in the other. They said at one time. This is all perspective at this point, right? But one thing that jumps out is, while all of this is going on, it's saying that Pearl was taken away from the prophet. That's what I was referring to. And when someone said she was with the ink and from 29 forward, That's not so much true. Yes, she was with the ink, but it appears to be that she could have been there for fear of her life. Because when you look at all the things that Sister Pearl Drew Ali did, and when they was dividing up the prophet's stuff that they could divide up, Sister M.D. Drew Ali stated that she would take care of the belongings of the grand body. And this was the reason for the fake marriage certificate for Mary Foreman Bey, to make it appear like she was the wife of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So when everything is divvied up, it will go to the next of kin. Because most people did not know Prophet Noble Drew Ali family in Virginia. And so they made up and divvied up this fake marriage certificate, got it into the system. That way, when the time to divvy up the property of the movement, it will be given to Mary Foreman Bey, and they would take it from her. And that's what happened. But after being called into question regarding her statement, Sister Ali repudiated her statement, saying, I will see to it that the belongings of the Moorish Science Temple of America is properly cared for, regardless of whose hands they are in. Now, at that point, this was the last time you seen. This was the last time that you heard from Mary Drew Ali. When she bucked on them, like, I got this now. That was the last time you heard of Mary Drew Ali. That was it. You won't find her in no records. You won't find her in no census. You don't find her nowhere. See, these people was treacherous back then. Where is Mary Drew Ali in 1940, 1950, 1960? Where is she at in the minutes? If she's in the minutes, hey, I would love to see it. Because in 1934, when she had the prophet property, yeah. Who shall issue charters and ordination papers? The right to issue charters and ordination papers was invested in the hands of Brother C. Kirkman Bey. Now, hold on. Who shall make sheets by a majority of vote? This is the reconstructing of the Moorish Science Temple of America away from what the prophet designed it for. There's my receipts. Now, there's my receipts. Where yours at? And mind you, this is a piece of their minutes. This is a piece of their minutes. These are not something that I'm grabbing out of thin air. This is a piece of their minutes. You understand what I'm saying? This is theirs. See, these people, as I get out of here, Sharif says, it's definitely boosting me in the algorithms. So thank you for that. Brother Louis A. Sharif Anael Bey points are solid. Family, I need y'all to type this in the chat. Was any of those points solid, family? Please type in the chat. Any of the points that I just refuted and rebutted, were they solid? And if you got one or two was solid, please let me know and I'll revisit it at another date. Please, yes or no, was those points solid? Sharif says they are not babble. Conversely, saying you approve Kirkman Bey as an FBI informant, we can do that during the debate. Debate me on that. I'll save some for the debate. Even killing your own association by admitting you have circumstantial evidence. No, what I said is, it said when we are researching, some of the evidence will be circumstantial. And some of it is going to be solid. That's what I said. I didn't say I got all circumstantial evidence. Nothing that I gave tonight was circumstantial. Everything I gave tonight was solid as a rock. And I've always given solid information. You, Sharif and Luis, you get on there and start talking, Sharif. Luis, get there and start typing in a chat that I don't have access to. That's what happens. That's what happens. And when you said, but crazy, and implying he killed the prophet, he was accused of stabbing the prophet. That's what I said. That's the written word. That's the written word, that Kirkman Bey was accused of killing the prophet. That's the written word. I showed the receipts. Hold up. Let me see if I can pull it up again, just so you won't think I'm being, I don't want anybody to think for once that I am just being sensational. I'm not sensationalizing. Give me 1 second. I wasn't even going to show this, but I'm going to do it now. Let me see something.
Hey, Dad,
One moment, Liam. I'm almost done, buddy.
but I got a place to chill.
I see you, bro. Give me 1 second. I just want to show one thing real quick. All right. I think I got it. 1 second. If I can't find it right now, but I mean, I showed it quite a few times, so I'm not really hung up on trying to find a newspaper article, because I actually got the newspaper article and the I have the hold up. And I have the FBI report, and it basically saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Give me one. Okay, I think this is it. Let me see. I'll show you the FBI report. And I don't trust all of that, but you know what I'm saying? I don't trust it all, but it was reported. It was reported in the newspaper as well as in the FBI report. Okay, let me see this. This one here. And it was reported in multiple places. It says that when the organization first started, Kirkman got in trouble over killing of the national leader. But that when this matter was cleared up, he's never been in trouble with authorities since that time. To me, when I put all the pieces together and showed the relation to him with the feds and their and that's just the FBI. That's the FBI report. But you got the newspaper reports and everything. I got the newspaper reports and everything. You know what I mean? Of it's saying that Kirkman Bey was involved with the prophet's death. I'm not saying that just to embellish anything. That's what it actually says. I mean, one of the reports, here's one of the reports. This don't mention Kirkman Bey, but here's one of the reports that is consistent with the newspaper article. Now, on July 20, 1929, Drew Ali was beaten to death in a bloody fight between Warren MST of A factions. I keep telling you, it was two sides. It was the Kirkman Bey, Claude Green side, and Lomax Bey side against the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, near the MSA Temple 3603 in South Indiana Avenue. A few days later, another bloody MST riot occurred during course of which 2 Chicago policemen was killed. And they just talk about two situations and making them too close together. But I do have the articles. I do have all of this stuff. So I'm just not grabbing stuff out of thin air. Last but not least, before I get out of here, right? Last but not least, before I get out of here, I hope y'all enjoyed this presentation. Before I get out of here, I want to say a few things. None of them have brought any receipts to refute anything that I've said. You follow what I'm saying? How to do that? So the next time you see them on the internet and they're just talking, why would we give that any credibility? Because my words are being twisted or taken out of context? That's why you should take my video and use my video and do a screen share. And then maybe I can come back with the same video and critique my information. Real talk. I be that more you gon' remind remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bay front line till the law call my number. If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies, now hold my line. Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali, who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec. Told you you wasn't black, proved it with straight facts. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people taught European how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but
see y'all tomorrow on Moorish TV.
Cause they got a love for Europe, man. They can't say the people's ran sheep. Yeah, they love Lil Yachty.
I'm the shit ran sheep,
Kodak, Amigos, Raw, Bruce. But when they love for the woman, look like your mother. I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bay front line till the law call my number. Scholars holler, it's error for the work. If you ain't building on the ground, then you worse than a twerker. You look and sound good, but that's only on the surface. Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know every mo that rock affairs. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you know I ain't slow. I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for dough. And some got it right now. Don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate. I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love your neighbor. That's why you can't fight and marry out of your race. If you ain't the Moorish world, then get out of my face. Cause Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you used to love the Moorish world, come on and build it with me. Let's go.
I'm an environmentalist.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bay.
But wait, it gets worse.
Call my number.
But wait, it gets worse.
I'ma be that more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember. Taharka Bay front line till the law come.
But wait, it gets worse. It gets worse.
I be that more you gon' remember.
But wait, it gets worse.
I'm an environmentalist.
Taharka Bay front line till the law come.
But wait, it gets worse.
I be that more you gon' remember.
We will mash you up. We broke up your little blood. We will mash you up. We broke up your little blood clot maga body.